Just so you know, the hospital had contacted us a little bit ago. The kid did pass away.
This is newly obtained surveillance video showing the morning Lloyd Preston Brewer fatally shoots an unarmed 21-year-old.
Does anybody else have access to the surveillance system?
There is somebody else, but I don't give you permission yet.
This is Lloyd Preston Brewer III, a man worth more than $16 million currently realizing that he was caught on camera taking the life of an innocent college student. But this millionaire is more concerned with paying his taxes.
If you want to hold me, give me 3 or 4 days. I've got to pay estimated taxes. I'm the only one that can do it.
Than he is with the fact that he has just murdered someone. And armed with millions of dollars and stand your ground laws, Lloyd will use every single card under his sleeve to try and get away with it all.
And I'm going to maintain stand your ground all day long. What I hope comes out of this, I think this is a case for a grand jury.
Around 12:30 a.m. on February 13, 2023, dispatchers would receive a disturbing 911 call from a bar in Key West, Florida, reporting a deadly shooting.
Yes, hello. I just shot someone.
You just shot someone? Who did you shoot?
I don't know. What is your name? Garrett Hughes.
Okay. Why'd you shoot him?
He came at me aggressively in my parking lot at Compound.
Hey, can you tell me where you hurt him? Where you injured? Where?
In the stomach.
Okay. We have units pulling up, okay?
The person on the other end of the phone is 60-year-old Lloyd Preston Brewer III, a man worth more than $16 million and the owner of Conchtown Liquor and Lounge, the bar where the shooting had occurred. And right now he is just admitted to shooting 21-year-old Garrett Hughes, a former standout high school football player and the son of a well-known local coach. When officers arrived, they found Garrett lying motionless in the parking lot of the bar as friends attempted to render aid. He was rushed to the nearest hospital, and due to the severity of his injuries, an airlift was quickly arranged. Garrett, however, never made it onto the airlift and was pronounced dead shortly after. Fortunately, surveillance footage from Lloyd's own establishment had captured the entire altercation, and as he was brought in for an interrogation, detectives had one question: was this a case of self-defense or an act of violence being framed as one?
All right, Preston. Before we start anything, because formality, I'm going to read you your rights, okay? You get your water?
I got water.
I'm going to read you your rights and go through this. I'll have you sign it just saying that I read them to you. And
Miranda rights?
Yeah. And then
I'll just sign it as what it says.
And then if you want to, I'll have to read them. It's a formality. And then you want to give us your story. I'm here to listen. Before we ask you any questions, you must understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask any questions and to have him present with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any questioning if you wish. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you will have the right to stop answering at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. You understand those rights? Okay. Do me a favor, just read this here. Do you have your glasses? Okay.
Cheers.
Yep, there you go. Just read this here for me. The waiver of rights. If you could read it out loud for me.
I have read this statement of my rights, and I understand that my rights are, or what my rights are. I am willing to make a statement and answer questions. I do not want a lawyer at this time. I understand and I know what I'm doing. I promise. No promises or threats have been made to me, and no pressure or coercion of any kind has been used against me.
Okay.
It's very simple.
Okay. And a couple of Oreo cheaters. Because I can't see. All right. All right. Pretty much tell me what happened. And start, if you can, just start I guess the night that you were at Comtown that night?
Correct.
Okay, so go ahead and let me know. Tell me what you got.
I was there for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I was with my niece and her boyfriend.
Okay.
They left. I am now single, so I hung out for a little bit longer to see if maybe a potential suitor might show up.
Okay.
Nothing happened. I was ready to go home. I noticed there was a lot of activity going to and from the back door.
Okay.
As we have discussed in the past.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So I went out back to just see what was going on. As you know, I am armed. Nature of my business, my property.
All right.
I went out back and there was not one, this was not a drug dealer, I don't think, just a guy. And he had buddies with him, and there were cars, but he was in between two cars. There were people on either side, and I guess they were all together. I don't know. They hadn't come from inside the bar. I don't know where they came from. And he's pissing in the parking lot.
Okay.
And on the building. And I said, man, can't you just go I'll be honest, can't you just go in the bar and piss in the toilet? And we exchanged words. And as it progressed, he became more agitated and approached me. And I said, look, I own this. Stop. He continued to approach me. I said, I'm armed. It appeared as though he was reaching for something. The first shot went off this way. The second shot went off up in the air. To the best of my recollection, he was already on top of me. It would happen that fast.
Okay.
There's no doubt I fired a weapon.
Okay.
Because they wouldn't let me wash my hands.
All right. Yeah, we'll do that after.
It happened.
All right.
I immediately, once he was down, did not continue to set my firearm on the hood of a car,
Okay.
awaiting the arrival of the police. I did not render aid because other people showed up to render aid.
Okay.
And I know he's got a lot of witnesses. They're going to say a lot of different things. That's what happened from my perspective.
The bar was owned by Lloyd's family, and he was often responsible for keeping an eye on the property. On the night of the shooting, it was Super Bowl Sunday, which is why Garrett and a group of his friends were there celebrating. According to Lloyd, he saw Garrett urinating on the property and approached him to intervene. Lloyd claims he warned Garrett that he was armed, at which point Garrett allegedly turned toward him, forcing Lloyd to fire in self-defense. That's Lloyd's version, but is it the truth?
On my property, I stood my ground. I feared for my life. Period.
Okay. Just so I know, if you can, draw me a little map. You know the property. Draw me a map where it was on the parking lot. So if the parking lot's back here, like this, that's the rear parking lot, right? Okay. Let's say this is a door for Comtown.
Right here.
Okay, just draw it right there. Show me. What's it, by the trailers or?
No. So there was a car. You know the way the back parking lot is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like this, right?
Okay.
No, not over here. Not. These are the dumpsters.
Right.
Right. Here's that Jeep that's been sitting there forever.
Yes.
It was approximately here. There was a truck parked here. After it happened about here.
Okay.
I laid my firearm there.
Okay. All right. When did you make contact with him?
As I came out,
Uh-huh.
I was walking this direction. It started here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And where did it happen? Did the altercation happen like in the parking lot itself, or
In the parking lot itself.
Okay, so
Not in the bar.
no, not in the bar. I'm saying
Were you in between the parking
in between the cars, or was that?
building here?
Right, in between the cars.
Okay.
Right here.
All right.
All of that's a matter of fact. There's cameras everywhere. Right?
Okay.
So all of that is a matter of fact.
Okay.
And then as he approached me, I identified, I own all of this.
Yeah.
It's all my property.
Okay.
I identified myself as the owner of the property. I identified myself as being armed. He still approached and appeared as though he was going for something.
Okay.
That's.
What did he tell you when you told him about what?
We were going back, who are you? We were just going back and forth on this thing, and it just that fast.
Okay.
It was not a long drawn out process. It really wasn't. Because if it had been, then his buddies that were here would have, had they all come in together and had been a fist fight, things might have ended differently. But that dude was agitated already. I mean, you can test me for drugs or whatever. I don't know. I swear, I hope he's okay. I hit him in the abdomen. I don't think I hit him with the second shot because the second shot went in the air. It was that fast.
So when the altercation happened, that you all came together, was there any contact with you on him? Did you grab him? Did he grab you? Was there any hand contact?
Not to my recollection.
Okay.
It happened so fast, but when somebody's coming at you that fast,
I got you.
It doesn't matter.
All right.
Lloyd claims he fired his gun because Garrett was coming at him, but Garrett's wounds told a very, very different story. According to the post-mortem report, the gun was pressed directly against Garrett's body when it was fired. Investigators found soot and a clear muzzle imprint on the skin, which are typical indicators of a contact shot. Which means Lloyd and Garrett were in extremely close proximity when Lloyd pulled the trigger, and Garrett wasn't charging at him.
If we're going to get into very minute particulars, that's what I'm going to ask for a lawyer.
Okay.
Because I'm telling you the overall scope of what happened. And the reason I asked for you is you understand the dynamics of that establishment.
Yes, I do.
And so you know I'm armed all the time. Nature of my business and what goes on back there. And really all I was doing was walking through here to see what was going on, to give you a call if something was happening.
All right.
That's it.
When you
been in contact a lot.
No, we have, and you always tell me people have been doing stuff back there. We got a good relationship.
In all honesty, I don't think they were dealing with anything. I think they were just drunk guys.
Okay.
They're local, I think.
All right.
And I can tell you, one of them's probably going to try to kill you based on.
Did they say anything?
The looks. And finally, your officer that did not detain me.
Right.
Really, he didn't handcuff me, but we went and sat on my back steps. Because originally I was looking at the scene, and the guy was looking at me like, yeah, I'm going to get even with you. And the officer saw it too, and he said, just come sit over here.
Right.
Look this direction.
All right. So, just so I get it right, you walked out of here, you were walking, you walked out of Countdown, and you walk in there when you when you engaged in the
He's over there pissing, and he zipped his pants up, and we had words, and he came at me.
Okay.
And, I mean, there's no reason for me to go at a guy that's just pissing other than verbally, just, really bar. They got 3 bathrooms.
I got you.
No. So I don't know, beyond that, I didn't know him. He had no reason to have malice for me that I'm aware of.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people know me, you know that.
Yeah.
I did not recognize him as someone that I'd run into before.
Okay. All right. And as far as words, you can't remember what he told you or anything like that?
It was all, I hate to say it, but in the heat of battle, in the heat of the moment, words are exchanged. Yes. Can I be verbally abusive? Yes, I can. But did I walk up and strike him to cause him to come at me? No.
All right. Okay.
No. Look at my size. I mean, no. And my recollection is the guy was a little bit taller than I am.
All right. Did he hit you? Did he strike you?
No, he came at me in a threatening manner.
Okay.
And it appeared as though he was reaching for something, but he was coming at me.
All right.
And
Did you see what he was reaching at or anything like that?
I did not.
Okay.
What do you mean by the threatening manner? Like, what could be threatening?
No, he's coming at me with words and we're gonna have issues. Because I mean, where he ended up, the best of my recollection, was outside here. Okay?
Behind the cars.
Right, outside. Now, you tell me if I'm incorrect. But so he obviously came toward me.
Okay.
Did you find him here next to the building? No. You found him in the middle of the parking lot, which is where I was. Which means he came to me.
Okay.
When you came out, where were his friends?
There was a friend. Okay. I don't know if they were his friends.
Right.
But there were other people. There were some over here and some over here, but there were cars here and here. That's my recollection. So it was like he was isolated.
So he was by himself, like staying pissing.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, like they're not sitting around watching him piss.
Right.
Was there anybody back here by the back door? Anybody hanging out back there?
I walked out. I don't believe there was at the time. There was immediately afterwards.
Okay.
There were all kind of people everywhere.
All right.
Afterwards.
At what point did you draw on him? Was it here?
When I fired, he was about this close. Because I fired on him. It appeared as though he was reaching for something, and he's coming at me. And by the time he got that close, I fired, and he's on top of me.
Okay. Did he fall on you?
He came, yeah.
Oh, did he
my second shot went in the air.
Okay, so you fell on the ground? Do you remember if you fell on the ground and fell back?
Yeah, he came at me. Yeah, because I got up, but he wasn't on top of me by the time it all ended. He was on the ground.
Okay. So I'm just trying to.
Do you remember where he was reaching? Like, was he reaching?
It looked like on his side.
Okay.
Which is where I carry a firearm.
Okay.
I mean, there was no reason for this. This was.
Do you remember if you were holding the gun with one hand or with two hands?
Me?
Mm-hmm. Were you able to actually punch out properly?
I don't know. I will tell you what the best of my recollection is.
I'm sure it happened pretty fast.
2, 1.
Okay.
I mean, it was that fast.
Fast.
And just to get, so you walking towards him,
I'm not walking toward him, he's walking toward me.
Okay.
Do you want to show?
Like, I'm trying to get did you fall? You said you got up off the ground?
Yeah, because when he came, my second shot went in the air.
Okay.
It was that fast.
Okay. All right.
And I'm going to maintain stand your ground all day long. I mean, it's my parking lot. He's coming at me.
Florida's Stand Your Ground law allows someone to use deadly force only if they are not the aggressor and reasonably believe they're facing imminent death, serious injury, or a forcible felony. It also removes any duty to retreat, but only under those conditions.
I mean, what I hope comes out of this, I understand your job. And I understand friends don't cross that line for your job. I think this is a case for a grand jury.
Well, that's that's what we're here. You know my job.
Yeah, I think this is a case for a grand jury to investigate all the facts.
This is something that we get all the facts. We get everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We put everything together.
And you know,
and before we do anything,
I don't want to go to jail tonight, but you know I'm not going anywhere. So you take it to a grand jury.
That's up to the state. Preston, we put everything together, we take it to the state, then they make that decision.
But you know, this wasn't a revenge thing. This wasn't one of the dealers back there. It wasn't like I was hunting somebody.
I got you.
In no way, shape, or form.
I got you. You had gone to the bar earlier. What time do you think you got to the bar?
We watched the whole Super Bowl.
The whole Super Bowl? Okay. How many drinks you think you might have had?
Probably 3.
3? Was it drinks or beers? What were you drinking? Beers?
I don't get liquor.
You just drink beer?
Oh.
Okay. And what time did you get there, you think?
We got the Uber at... You got my phone?
No, they have it, I believe. You got it in there? You got the time that you got the Uber? Okay. We could look at it. So you had an Uber. Uber took you there. So you didn't even drive there?
No.
Okay.
So the Uber took us, because we've learned if you drink 1 or 2 beers, don't drive, because FHP is
everywhere right now.
everywhere. No, I mean, we're that responsible. So my niece and...
What's your niece's name?
Arabi.
How do you spell that?
Arabi.
Damn, I had ARI.
Yep.
That's your niece, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And
She had left already.
her and Alex showed up later because he was working tonight.
That's your boyfriend?
Yes.
I think that's on that for now. I'm gonna do the swabs in your hand for the GSR.
I don't deny that I shot a firearm.
Do you remember what hand you shot it with? Right hand? Did you get divorced?
We were never married.
Oh, okay.
I know we're amicable. I mean, but she's over in Salt Ponds now.
All right, okay.
Whether he was married or not, his significant other was also a victim of his disgusting behavior. Just 2 years earlier, in 2021, Brewer was arrested for domestic battery because he had allegedly punched his girlfriend and then had retrieved a firearm. Although no shots were fired, Lloyd had to agree not to carry firearms or drink excessively. This charge was ultimately dismissed by 2022 under these conditions. And in a situation like this, a violent past isn't exactly doing him any favors.
And as you notice, I didn't run, didn't hide. So I spent the night at Rick Ramsey's.
I don't know. This is what we're doing, and I'll be perfectly honest with you. We're gonna put everything together. Your story, their story.
It's one of me and probably 5 or 6 of them.
And that's fine. It goes to the state. We tell them what we're gonna do, and they'll make the decision of how they want to proceed. If they're gonna take it to grand jury, if they're gonna. Either way, we just, and you know how we operate. You know me for a long time. I'm not gonna bullshit you.
And you know I'm not going anywhere.
And I know that you got plenty of roots here. So based on what the state says, we'll give them both sides. We'll give them, and they'll make a decision. And you'll know. So right now we're just putting everything together. You coming forward, you're talking to us. We'll give them that, and then they'll make the decision of how they want to.
I'm not hiding what happened.
So, no, I understand that. And you've always been up front with me with no problem. So we just put everything together. you know, and then we give it to them, and it'll go from there.
So here's what I would ask. If you want to hold me, for whatever reason, give me 3 or 4 days. Here's why. I'm a one-man shop. I've got to pay estimated taxes. I'm the only one that can do it.
Okay.
I've got to be in my office. I don't care if you come and sit with me, just make sure I don't go anywhere.
Right.
But I've got to be able to do that.
Well,
And that's not just for
I
me.
can't make that decision, and I'm gonna tell you, I can't make that decision, that's not on me to make, but, it's something that we'll have to talk to the state about, okay? And like I said, I've always been upfront with you, there's nothing to hide, you know, I have to do my job as far as, no matter what it is, but I'll have to.
For now, Lloyd isn't aware of Garrett's death, but even after knowing he fatally shot a young man with his entire life ahead of him, his priorities are his taxes. That's where his head is at. And somehow it gets worse when he finally learns his victim has unfortunately passed away.
Can I ask you how the fellow's doing?
Right now, he's critical.
Do you remember if he had a shirt on or not? Was he clothed all the way?
Well, his clothes except he was peeing.
Okay, just
He had a
peeing.
shirt on.
Okay. Does anybody else have access to the surveillance system other than yourself? For the parking lot?
No, I need to get in there and look at it.
Are you the only one that has the capability to do that, or is there somebody else that has access?
There is somebody else, but I don't give you permission yet.
You understand that we're going to need to be able to see that?
Hmm?
You understand we're going to need to be able to see the video?
Unfortunately, that's one of those few spots that isn't clear. Because I don't have a camera sitting right here.
Right.
Of course, there's no audio. It's illegal to audio.
Let's see why Lloyd isn't allowing officers to see the CCTV footage. In this video from surveillance cameras, Garrett can be seen walking shirtless towards the wall and urinating. Just a few seconds later, Lloyd walks out and begins verbally confronting Garrett before turning away, almost as if he's disengaging. However, moments later, he decides to return and can be seen pulling his shirt up and flashing his firearm. Then Lloyd walks up to Garrett, pulls out his gun and points it at him. Unlike what Lloyd claims, the footage clearly shows Garrett was never the aggressor. Rather, Lloyd was, considering he walked up to him.
So what's the over-under on me going to Rick Ramsey's hotel tonight?
Rick Ramsey's hotel. That's a good way of putting it. We're still working out all the details, so we're not making that decision right this second.
I would like to get in touch with my lawyer. I've asked 3 times and was denied the ability.
When did you ask for that?
When I was detained at the scene
Okay.
and when I was downstairs.
Okay. Who is your attorney?
I'm not saying I refuse to cooperate. I'm saying I would like to confer with counsel.
Sure.
Okay. Before we go, just one question I want to ask, because once we get everything and go to the state. When the guy came, you said the guy came towards you, do you remember anything or any type of threatening things that he told you or anything that he made, actions? I know you said he grabbed you something.
He was coming to aggressively get me. He was getting taller than I was.
All right. Did he show anything, like, did you remember anything, hand maneuvers, hand things? Do you remember anything?
It was just that fast, no.
Okay, all right. All right, Preston, just so you know, I'm always up front with you, walking with you. The hospital had contacted us a little bit ago. I just talked to the detective that was out there, and the kid did pass away. So I just want to let you know that, all right? Unfortunate thing, but I got to tell you, I've known you too long, and there's no need to hold anything back. But we're going to do the blood draw. They'll give you your medication out there, and then while you're doing that, we're going to do what we got to do, and then see what avenue the state wants to take. Okay.
Lloyd was charged with first-degree premeditated murder with a firearm for the killing of Garrett Hughes. He also faced an aggravated assault charge for pointing his gun at Hughes' brother after the shooting, along with a firearm permit violation related to the misuse of his concealed weapon. Lloyd was ultimately convicted and sentenced to the mandatory penalty, life in prison, without the possibility of parole. Thank you for watching today's video. Whether you're new here or have been with us for a while, check out one of the craziest cases I've ever covered right here, or one of my newest uploads right here.